a particular time, but wherever you find time, you just have to just go and do your workout.
It may not be literally a crazy workout. It could be even playing with your friends. It could be a badminton. It could be something.
Exactly.
It could be soccer. It could be some fun thing to do together.
Everyone, my name is Kiran and today we have Mr. Santhosh with you. So we have brought in a very creative person for you guys this time. He's into adventure, he's into dancing, he even conducts training programs. And sir, can you tell me more about yourself?
As you mentioned, yes, I'm into ballroom dancing, myself and my wife Akshita. Apart from that, we use adventure as a tool or outbound as a tool for training program. It could be for corporates, it could be for school, colleges.
Okay.
So that's what we concentrate mostly.
Okay. Sir, so can you tell me something about adventure consulting? Like you had told me earlier that you are into this. So can you tell me something more about this?
So the first company which I started working was Adventure Consultants,
Okay.
which was basically into outward bound training programs.
Okay.
So basically, it is like experiential learning.
Okay.
So we take them through a couple of experiences where we use hardcore outbound camping
Okay.
or navigation skills and backpacking
Okay.
skills. We teach them and we take them to wilderness,
Okay.
and we are there only for safety. But the
Okay.
idea is to for them as a team to navigate
Okay.
and reach the destination,
Okay.
camp out, cook for themselves.
Okay.
And the idea is to you learn from your
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah.
So that was the whole design of
Okay.
Adventure Consultants.
Okay, and like what are the other activities involved in this?
So on the way, we used to design a couple of
Okay.
team-based activities.
Okay.
It could be like raft building, or it could be a smaller team-based activity based on what the requirement from the company is. And there would be a trainer along with them, an in-house trainer, and we would facilitate along with them what is needed.
So you had mentioned about outbound training as well. So can you tell us some benefits about outbound training?
See, sometimes what happens when any training happens in a classroom setup,
Yeah.
we are very much comfortable.
Yeah.
So the minute we are in the outdoors,
Yeah.
uh, your true self comes out. You can't
Yes,
hide
yes,
behind
yes.
a mask, pretend everything is fine and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the best part of it is also for us to come out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that's one of the major benefits
Yeah.
of all these experiential
Even
training
we
programs.
had gone to Somanahali once last
Yes.
year. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was really fun. Yeah.
I'm sure even you would have come out of your comfort zone in one of the
Yes,
activities.
sir. So how do you design these outbound programs?
There are a lot of activities which can be designed, and sometimes we also have to be creative.
Okay. Yeah.
As I mentioned, looking at the terrain, looking at what is available, looking at
Yeah.
the objective of the team, then we
Okay.
design.
Okay.
If it is leadership, we come up with a
Yeah.
couple of activities where
Okay.
we can recognize how
Yeah.
each one behaves
Yeah.
in a particular situation.
Sir, so do you conduct outbound training programs for colleges, corporates, or how is it?
I've done both for colleges and as
Okay.
well as for corporates,
Okay.
even for schools.
Mhm.
The whole idea is we can start off very early. We have done it from 5th grade itself, and we have seen how difference it can bring in for any child's education system, to their outlook, to everything.
And you must have come across some difficult situations. So how did you face it and how did you handle? Can you like explain one or two?
Difficult situation would be designing this in any forest
Okay.
in terms of getting permissions, taking care of the
Okay.
safety, making
Okay.
sure all our backup plans are in place.
Okay.
It might just look like a regular trek.
Okay.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Most of my programs has happened in the Kaveri Valley when the permission was very easy to get. It could be in jungle lodges. It's called as Bhimeshwari, Gadigore, Dodmakli. So we would start in Dodmakli, trek all the way on the river bank, camp in between, cross the river, then reach the other campsite.
Yeah. So as a traveler, like what are some of the learnings that you would like to share or tell the MBA students?
It's not only to the MBA students.
Okay.
Again, my favorite dialogue would be come out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
Being born and brought up here in Mysore, I can't travel everywhere and always prefer to have idli and dosa. Right? I would tell everyone to always taste the local food, enjoy the local flavor. It's not about the sightseeing places, it's about the people you meet. I would expect every traveler to go meet local people, understand what is best in that area, and explore that. And yes, definitely the popular places will be there, but there are a lot of hidden gems which I would ask them to explore.
Sir, so as you know, like we are MBA students and most of them are in their 20s and they're confused between choosing passion and profession. So, like, do you like suggest them to listen to their heart or to their mind? Like, what are your takes on this?
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's their personal choice, and I would want to tell them to go ahead with whatever choice they make. It's not easy. It's going to be super difficult, and it's always a thin line. And it's not. It will never be an easy decision, and not to get carried away with what is important at that time. Not to fall for what the society will think, what my friends will think, what my parents will think. So make a choice. It's okay. Experiment. That's the best age to make a couple of mistakes and see if it works or not. And it's not easy to follow your passion. That definitely I
So
can tell.
you would have surely faced this. So how did you convince your parents, your friends, and what kept you motivated?
Even now, I'm not able to convince my parents. Even at the age of 43, my dad will keep telling me, "What are you still doing?" It's not wrong on their part. A lot of people still can't accept it, and it's not easy. Even your close friends, whom you think would understand, it takes some time for them to agree with whatever I'm doing. So that way, it's not easy. Forget about convincing anybody else. I would say if you're happy, why not? And there will be a lot of difference of opinion, and whether whatever you're doing is right or not. At the end of the day, it's all the small things which matter.
Sir, so you also said that you're fond of cycling. So
Yes.
what do you think are the benefits of cycling and how would you align it to the corporate world?
Traveling, I've done a lot of motorbike
Yeah,
trips.
yeah.
Being in the adventure field, I always wanted to do a lot of trips on motorcycle. I've done that. Cycling came much later. So again, especially a tandem cycle, it was because we met a couple who were traveling across India on their tandem cycle, and that's how we connected that both of us could cycle together. We had planned, but two separate cycles was very difficult.
Yes.
Sakshita was not that confident to ride a cycle alone, and that's how the tandem cycle happened. The best part of cycle is you end up seeing the terrain, everything a bit more slow than a motorcycle. I have seen lot more of the terrain, lot more scenery, to lot more people
Yeah, you
while
can like
cycling.
feel the experiences.
Definitely.
Yeah.
On a bike, it's much more faster.
Yeah.
So cycle, you literally take the life a bit more slow is what I feel. You start to notice a lot more things happening around. That's the best part of cycling. And a lot more people connect.
Yes.
They see it, it's much more physical, and they feel, okay, somebody's putting so much effort to travel from one place to the other. The way they connect is entirely different. And you also get pampered a lot. They want to feed you more and more just because you guys are cycling. And that's the fun part.
During your cycling trip, you got an opportunity to meet many foreigners, right? So, like, what are some of the experiences that added value?
Meeting foreigners more on the cycle trip, not much actually. We started hosting foreigners much before we started the cycling trip. It was called as scout surfing. Basically, the concept when travelers come to your place, you're willing to host them. You can also meet them only for lunch or dinner or for coffee. But the idea is to host them on your place, and the idea is to share experiences, where they are from, what kind of travel they've been doing, and all of that. On the cycle trip, we met only in few places. So it's fun to talk about different travel experiences. You don't see, even for foreigners, they didn't see much of Indians traveling on cycle. This happened in 2013-14. So 10 years back, very few people used to cycle. So that way. So experiences are plenty.
Yeah, and could you share about their ethnicity, like how are they different from us, and how did you manage to build a rapport with them?
When you meet at a common place, you're not worried about ethnicity or anything.
Yeah.
You just go crazy mode of where did you travel, where are you coming from, where I'm coming from, and all of that. So it's entirely different experience. And to gel with them, the minute you know, for both of us, it's the travel which is passion, you instantly connect. There's no barriers, there's nothing else, and even sometimes the language doesn't become a barrier. And they have plenty of stories to tell about India itself, which we had never heard of. So that's the beauty of it.
And you also told that you got an opportunity to meet Maharashtra CM and Milind Soman.
Yes.
Can you share some insights and what you learned from them?
This happened on our cycle trip. Just to elaborate a little bit, we had a message. It was called a suicide prevention drive. So we used to go to schools, colleges, basically share our experiences to say there's more to life and that is not the solution for any problem. And we were working with one of the suicide helplines in Maharashtra, which was called as Connecting. And the person who was in charge, she had a contact with then Chief Minister, Mr. Prithviraj Chauhan. And we thought it's going to be just a 5 minute talk. He's visiting there. We went in, and for our surprise, he spent like 20 minutes, which was quite a lot. And he wanted us to talk about all the farmer suicides and all of that. It's again, you just can't share your opinion based on talking to one or two people. There are plenty of reasons why they do it. For a couple of them, it could be I have taken a very big loan. If I die, everything will be solved. That is the most general mindset what the farmers have. Do we have a quick fix solution? No, we don't have. We need to change our mindset. So that's what we spoke about at that time. Definitely, helpline helps a lot. We want people to hear our stories, not being judgmental. So that is what we shared our experiences. And also, as I said, the other organization was also there. So they've been working in this field for a very long time. And especially a celebrity like Milind Soman or somebody who connects with the cause, and if they talk a little bit more, if they say, yes, I connect with it, the impact is much more. So whatever we did for that 10-month ride, if Milind Soman can talk about it in 5 minutes in one of his run, the impact is so much more. Right?
Yes, sir.
Even Chief Minister trying to recognize it and saying, yes, this is the need of the hour, it definitely adds a lot of value.
So, as a corporate trainer, can you give us some tips how to build a growth mindset?
You never stop learning. No matter what age you are in, we never stop learning. And we always want to be in our comfort zone. Once we start working, we say, okay, now I'm good. I know everything. That's the attitude I guess most of us have. Just to say, yes, I can learn from anyone. It could be my junior, it could be my senior, it could be my peer, anyone. So it's much more benefiting for the entire group, even personally, individually, and also as a team, we would grow together. That's what I feel.
We come across a lot of difficult challenges and situations, right? So, what do you think is the right way to react to them?
I wish I knew that. There is no right way. You react in a certain way based on a lot of situation. Is it right? Is it wrong? Who am I to judge on that? Or who am I to say, I could have acted a different way? We learn from that. The best part is how do I take it ahead? How does it impact me and how I've taken it ahead? That's what matters. It's not easy. Even now I'm learning. There are chances where even I go down. It's not that I've figured it out everything. There are low times. We figure it out and then heal, grow. That's about it.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to share from your experiences?
Oh, I would love to share a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
Basically, I would, especially for students,
Yeah.
this is what I say. Make mistakes. That's when you learn. And make sure what you connect with it. Follow your passion. Definitely don't think of only one thing and take it ahead. So, can you balance both? It's not easy. You will figure it out eventually. That's all I can say.
Can you tell us something about your best adventure?
The cycling trip was so far the best one, just because it was 10-month long ride. We met a lot of people on that journey, and we have plenty of stories. I can literally talk for next 10 days, I guess, because it's so much more.
Yeah.
Every state, every place where we stayed, how we met them, how we connected with each other, and the bond we have, and even how a lot of people's mindset changed, how my mindset changed. So there are plenty of stories. Just to give you one example out of my mind, UP, I had an entirely different mindset. But traveling in UP, it's one of the best experiences of all the states. Because you have some kind of an image of that state.
What was unique? What did you find unique over there?
That was one place where I've heard welcome from literally every other person. they would say it in their local language or in Hindi or trying to say it in English, thinking that we are foreigners. They would say, "Welcome to our state," because nobody travels to their state as much as how we did. So that is something which was very special. And also they took it on themselves. Oh, these two guys are traveling from a different state. It is my responsibility of their safety. That's how it would be. It was very sweet, very genuine, and it was amazing. And
So
the remotest village we have traveled, the families with whom we have stayed, it was
So
fun.
how do you feel being here right now in Bangalore?
It's fun. We can adapt in any place. Yes, we lived in a campsite for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
That's a different experience, and this is different. We are hardly in Bangalore, really frankly. We are in one or the other forest or a resort for doing one of the corporate training programs or children's program. So we don't get tired. So weekly 3 or 4 days we're outside. So I can't complain. I get best of both the worlds, I can say.
Okay, sir.
So, so many years into all these activities, which involves lots of physical involvement, and we would like to know more about how your daily routine is, because being active physically, you'll have to have a proper routine to have some endurance and strength in your regular activities that you perform with your corporate clients or anybody. So we would like to dive into more about your routine. Can you tell us about it?
I wish I was as disciplined as I was before. Tell you frankly, I'm not. Whenever we get into this activity mode, let it be when we plan for our trip, mountaineering trip, or our any other adventure trip, we always fall back into the last minute preparation.
Okay.
But one advantage being in the outdoors, we keep doing a lot of small treks. So that helps us to be fit.
Yes.
It's not that I have to do a lot every day. But yes, I definitely want to be like that, at least cycling or walks, regular walks. We do a lot of nature-based trips. It could be nature walk and all of that. That has been helping us to keep fit.
Yes.
But otherwise, dancing helped us a lot to be fit. Dancing regularly. It's been a long time we have not done it. Now we are in it, so it helps. I don't know if you remember, I told you that we stayed in the campsite for the past 8 years.
Yes.
So that helped us. Being in a campsite, you end up doing a lot of work hands-on.
True.
So you have to wake up early. There are a lot of things happening. Walking around 23-acre property itself is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Without realizing, we would have walked quite at least 6 to 7 kilometers a day.
Wow.
So sometimes we also add a bit of weight. We take a knapsack, backpacks. That helps us to train for our mountain trips and all of that. So we didn't have to do very specific something different. But yes, yoga was there, rock climbing was there. Whatever we liked, we started doing it. That helped us to keep fit. So,
Amazing.
yes, but right now, being in Bangalore, there are a couple of things I want to get back.
Yes.
So it could be morning cycling or swimming. Swimming is something which I've been missing a lot in the past 8 years. That's something I want to get back into. It's a hard push. You have to push yourself.
Waking up early. And all that.
Well, yes, waking up early or even in between. One luxury I have is I don't have to log in anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can just say, okay, I can go for swim even at 8 o'clock in the day or maybe later in the evening.
Yeah.
That helps me a lot. More than me, for my wife, she is into dancing. Her endurance is amazing. So she goes for her dance classes and all of that. So that way I would say she's much more fitter than me.
Okay.
I hope I've answered that.
Yes,
It's just-
you have. Yeah.
it's not easy. It's not easy to keep fit. You have to put in that effort.
You have to push yourself.
You have to push
The
yourself.
days where you are not able to push yourself, you'll have to be
Yes,
very.
I've had my somberi days, a
Yeah.
lot of it, and then I have to say I'm wasting a lot of time. I have to do it, and then I push myself.
And we all feel guilty at some point for wasting our time.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, I've read in some research that while you exercise, your brain releases a chemical which is an antidepressant, which reduces your even if you are depressed, even if you're stressed or worried about something, it naturally cures it, and you just become into get into a balanced mood. So, can you just tell us how important is fitness and exercising and doing all these physical activities is for students, especially who are going through too much stress in universities and colleges?
Okay. See, all of us understand the benefits of workout or exercise and how it makes us happy.
Yes, very true.
And but still we make our own mistakes,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
And it's fine. We have to learn, and it's our journey.
Hmm.
We fall in a trap, saying that okay, I'll do it later, and all of that. Have I fallen into a trap? Yes, I have. In spite of knowing all of this, have I not done my workout regularly? Yes. Have missed out my workout. Um, then I've felt very low for a very long period of time. It happens, and it's up to us. What Sometimes there would be some triggers, something which helps us to come out of all of it and be very disciplined. Sometimes again, leave all of it and fall into the trap. It's okay.
Yeah. So we're all humans and we tend
Exactly.
to go off track a little bit.
Yes.
But do you have that one point where one motivational point that you have to share to our students or whoever is watching this podcast to just push them, push themselves every day in the morning or in the evening, whenever.
There would be plenty. They would have already figured it out. It's not that I'm going to say something new. Being in this YouTube and Insta generation, you'll have much more motivational videos. But what we do is happily save it and not go it.
Exactly. We don't just do it.
So it takes that effort. Anybody who takes that one step extra, you have to feel inspired. We have to inspire each other. I don't know what would motivate each one of us, right?
Yeah.
There is no one.
There's no
particular
one
thing.
particular motivation for anybody.
Yes. So whatever you connect, just go along with that.
Okay.
And it's okay if you have not done it for quite some time. It's okay.
Hmm.
Definitely you can start right now today.
Yeah.
And this is where I can see the difference between me and my wife in terms of workout. Mine, it should be like I have to wake up at 6, then it should be 1 hour workout and all of it. For her, it could be any time in the day, and it is all short time. It's like 15 minutes workout,
Yeah.
and I've seen that difference. She could just wake up, do something in between 10 minutes workout, and she'll be happily cooking, and again
Yeah.
in the afternoon dance for 15-20 minutes. I've seen that work much better than mine.
Yes. I could relate to yourself because I used to have this thought of I should just go to the gym in the morning or work out in the morning. But if I miss like at least 30 minutes, I wouldn't go,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't go in the evening even if I have time. So I think people should come out of that very thought process saying that okay, this is a particular time, but wherever you find time, you just have to just go and do your workout.
It may not be literally a crazy workout. It could be even playing with your friends. It could be a badminton. It could be something.
Exactly.
It could be soccer. It could be some fun thing to do together. Yes.
So during one of your the suicide prevention, the whole idea behind it, can you just tell us more about why that suicide prevention particularly?
Yes. So initially, both of us wanted to travel across India on a cycle. That was the whole idea.
Okay.
And we also wanted to do it with our own money. In the sense, we wanted to save enough money and then travel.
Yeah.
So it was not happening. So we decided both of us anyway know the skill of ballroom dancing. We'll teach dance, earn money, and continue. So we built our own tandem cycle. We said before going for the the All India trip, we'll do a small trial trip around Mysore. So we started going to our relatives' places so that we have that comfort, we know where we are staying, and then continue the trip. And all these places, we also went to a couple of schools and started teaching them dance. This happened in 2012. We went to Kollegad and we were teaching dance in government school. It was all girls school,
Okay.
and basically PU college.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to know in that academic year, 4 of the girls had committed suicide. Less than 5 months, and 4 girls, we felt the number is really huge. We were like, okay, after our dance classes, we started talking to students. We heard this is what is happening in college. Why do you think most of your friends are taking this extreme step? So there were different reasons. There could be family problems, love affair, or studies because they were in second year PU.
Yeah.
So different stories. And casually we were talking, what do you think? Do you think all their problems got solved just because they ended their life? So they started saying, no, none of the problems can be solved just because you end your life.
Yes.
And they started asking us questions. They felt we were like super rich, we are traveling on a cycle, and we had to tell them, no, we are doing it on our own, we're not depending on our parents' money or anything. So they connected with that. Then when we said we're teaching dance, we are earning money, and then we want to continue for the All India trip. So this was a trial trip. And they started asking us why, did our parents agree to this? So we had to tell them, no, our parents are still not happy with this. They feel it is not safe, and both of us traveling like this, most of them don't agree with that. They're like literally, why don't you work? Why don't you get a job and work? Why don't you take your life seriously? You're married right now. You're traveling with your wife. So yeah, we started telling whatever happened in that particular week. So they could connect with us a lot more. They said, yeah, we also hear the same thing. So one thing led to another, and they started asking us about our passion, our interest, our trekking stories. So we shared it, and after the class, few girls came to us and they said we want to talk few things. And one girl, who was very particular about waiting and talking with us. So she mentioned she had planned, she had already attempted to end her life once, and she was planning to do it one more time that weekend. And she said, I want to live for myself. After listening to your story, I'm going to live for myself. Without realizing we had saved somebody's life. So that's when we realized on our All India trip, we're going to take that message just to say how, without realizing, we had saved a life. And that caught on, and that's how the entire journey happened.
Wow. Getting to know that indirectly you've saved someone's life.
Yes.
Pretty amazing, huh?
It is amazing. Even a lot of people in the 10-month journey, they said, okay, yeah, I know your message is suicide prevention. How many lives have you saved and all of it? So we said, no, before we started, we have already done it.
Yes.
And we are just taking her message. And we have got inspired by a lot of people. And a lot of people connected with us just because they felt inspired. Somebody cycling across India.
Correct.
And so that's about it.
Yeah, and the suicide statistics is like youth is among the highest.
Thank you for bringing that. Even that's what even we thought. Just that 10-month experience I want to share. We met different people. Yes, I know we went to schools and colleges mostly. But apart from that, when we went to a couple of organizations who work on suicide prevention, who have helplines with whom we spent a lot of time, and also the families with whom we stayed. We have heard stories from all age groups.
Okay.
See, we don't want to talk about it. It's only that. It's like a taboo subject. We believe that it doesn't happen with me. It doesn't happen in my family. When it happens, we are surprised.
Exactly.
Oh, I was with this person. How come I didn't hear it?
Everyone's surprised.
Yes.
Right after that.
So that way, it is happening everywhere, but we don't want to talk about it, or we want to hush it up. We don't want to tell it.
Correct.
At least now, a lot more helplines are there. A lot more people are sensitive about it, and they're okay to talk about it.
Yes.
So this was there across. It was in different companies, across all professions, from doctors to engineers to police to army. You don't know what triggers.
Exactly.
Yeah. And talking about work, a lot of people have stressed out because of work. That's also there.
Thank you for doing this initiative. That's actually very wonderful to listen.
Thank you.
And yeah, people around the world, everybody I think is somewhere or the other struggling with mental health, and everybody has to open up to someone. And these helpline, helps a lot of people. And doing one of prevention right. Thank you so much for that, spreading the awareness.
Thank you.
So in this digital era, like everybody has their own digital identity portfolio, let's say Instagram or LinkedIn, and we noticed that you don't have an Instagram or a LinkedIn profile, and we understand that it is a conscious decision of yours. Being unavailable online, and how does people get to know more about you, and how do you share your message? How does it spread? Can you tell us about that?
So this started way back when we did our cycle trip. Just because we did our cycle trip, that's when we were pretty active on Facebook.
Oh.
And after that, then we stopped. It was much more easier to keep in touch and spread the word and all of that. One of the reasons why we didn't connect with the social media even at that time. And we got inspired by a lot of people through our journey, and they were never there on any kind of social media. And the best part is when we get to hear their stories personally, and that's when we connected.
Yeah, okay.
And that also helped a lot throughout the journey. A lot of them, they said, okay, you must be very active on Facebook, can we see it? And we're like, we are active, but not so much. The way they connected, oh, you're not doing it only for namesake, only for limelight. You're actually doing it.
Yeah.
So that's when we notice more people connecting with us. And it's more special when they feel, okay, you're doing it out of your interest. They feel it very genuine. That is something which is very special. And the same thing with relation to our work. Both of us felt it works really well when it goes word of mouth. If somebody likes our work and they tell it, it's much better.
Correct.
No matter I can share a lot of things about myself online, unless you see it personally, that's a different experience. And that has helped us throughout. All our work we have got it because of word of mouth.
Okay.
And it has kept us pretty busy. I'm happy about it.
This is like an inspiration story in your activities, but through word of mouth, it's fascinating.
But I also have a couple of needs. I know I'm not active, but I've definitely got onto Insta very recently.
Okay.
But I also see a lot of other people, what kind of work they're doing. It's really inspiring, and you get to know a lot more is happening. That is where I draw the energy right now. I don't post at all,
But in the future, do you see yourself posting about you?
maybe one or two
spreading
things
around?
which I connect.
Yeah.
Not about myself, maybe something which I got inspired, which I want to share. Maybe.
Some stories that you would like to share to the world. So, in our atmosphere, we come as group during assignments and during any projects back in our university, and only during that time we find ourselves with our fellow peers, and there is a lot of difficulty, in managing teams or groups. Let's say if somebody works and somebody does not, and there's some ego issues, and if you say something to the other person and it's not well communicated, there's a miscommunication happening and the work is not done properly. I know you have trained lots of corporate in team building, so is there any common thing that you would like to share to us which will help us in good group bonding and good team building activities, not activities or any sorts of, but which will help us to have a really good group coherence?
Getting to know your team members personally would definitely help. Sometimes we don't want to put in that extra effort to know each other. And a lot of times we assume and we don't communicate and we miss out. That is one common thing which I've been seeing working with different teams, different corporates, different groups, whether it be school, colleges, or corporate. It's much more easier the minute we gel with the other person on a personal level.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get to know what their passion is, or sometimes we get to know what their likes are, what their dislikes are, how they want to be treated. Everything matters. So once we know that, the way we work as a team would be definitely different. And it is a conscious decision, conscious effort. The more we open up, the more other person will be comfortable to open up, and it would work better. Is there a one solution for everything? No. So we work, there would be difference of opinion. There would be disagreements. But once you keep it aside and say, okay, this is the common goal we are working. Why do you disagree? So we always want to push our ideas forward.
Exactly.
We always want to feel mine is the best. We don't want to see the other point of view. The minute we keep that aside and say, okay, is this why this other person is disagreeing with me?
Listening is one of the best.
Definitely. Do you think I would be a best listener? I don't think so. Even now I am. Sometimes even now I miss out few things. Just because of my experience, sometimes even I get into the mode, I know everything. Then I have to step back. No, I'm also making this mistake. It is a conscious effort.
Yes, conscious effort throughout.
Throughout. Not to get into the zone that I know everything is something I have learned personally.
Having a really unique lifestyle, we talked about many things that you work with your clients and all that. Let's get some little personal. So, having a very unique lifestyle, and how I want to ask you, how long have you been married?
It's been almost 16 years now.
16 years. Wow. Okay. And how were you able to manage, traveling from one place to other consistently while being married, while having a family?
We don't have kids. If you're asking me about family, we don't have kids.
Okay.
It was a conscious decision not to have kids.
Okay.
So that's why we have this luxury of traveling around.
Okay. Okay, so it is little bit shock for me because we see from an Indian society's context and not having kids, and you must be facing a lots of challenges and questions from all your relatives, families, or and even society, right? Can you tell us how do you overcome all that?
So it was definitely a lot of resistance was there not to have kids, to especially convincing my parents. Forget about convincing my wife's parents. My parents, I wouldn't say conservative, but whatever mindset they are in, it was the next step. We got married, you were supposed to have kids, that was what was expected. It was not easy to convince them. It was our decision not to have kids. So we had decided much before we got married. When we were dating itself, we had thought about it. But yes, plenty of resistance. Your friends will start asking you, literally pestering you. You're supposed to have kids, and also family. And wherever we went, the first question is how long you've been married and why you're not having kids. It was a personal choice. It was not that we had figured it out. We didn't feel like having kids. So that's about it. Uh, but not easy. I'll tell you, you will be bombarded with a lot of questions. Yeah, you have to deal with it. We'll pause.
Yeah, we'll.
One thing.